Hello everyone, this is my reaction to last Friday's Star Citizen Live Q&A jump points.
Will players with CrimeStat be allowed to jump at the Pyro Gateway, as transient jump points will not be in 4.0?
If you have a CS3, then ATC will not allow you to make a jump through a permanent jump point.
How do you clear a CrimeStat in Pyro?
One, you could get incarcerated by the law enforcement.
You could be incarcerated.
and end up in jail.
Oh, so you get incarcerated in Pyro and they end up taking you back to...
That's one way of doing it.
Okay.
How do UE forces get you when you are in Pyro, a lawless system? How is this even supposed to work? If we have police forces in Pyro too, then Pyro is not a lawless system. This feels, once again, like CRG hasn't thought anything through, doesn't have a plan, doesn't have a concept, doesn't think in advance.
There are options on the table. We haven't really decided exactly what we're going to do.
I'm sorry for what I'm saying now, but this has to be said. You two look like clowns. You have no idea, you have no plan, you haven't even thought about how do players clear a crime stat in Pyro. Yeah, we are figuring something out, we think about this. This is an over $700 million project in year 12 with more than 1,200 employees, and you are acting like, yeah, we are small indie dev, we are just starting, we are just brainstorming. This is exactly the reason why I hardly ever watched Star Citizen Live. Well, for my reaction videos, I have to.
Will the jump through the jump point consume quantum fuel? And if yes, how much?
Using permanent jump points will use quantum fuel. We haven't got a precise number, and it wouldn't be right for us to
We're still
divulge
balancing that. We're working with the economy team to make sure that whatever amount of fuel that we decide is appropriate.
What's stopping us from falling out of the jump tunnel and arriving earlier in the other star system, kind of like a shortcut?
It's not a shortcut by any means. In order to fall out, you have to take enough damage on your ship that your jump drive overloads and can no longer support, your travel through to the tunnel.
How difficult are these jump tunnels supposed to be?
There is a difficulty to every jump tunnel, right? You can't coast, you can't walk away from your seat because you have to fly it, you have to avoid the edges of the tunnel, all the obstacles in the tunnel as well. But the actual difficulty, there's also factors like, there's going to be like turbulence in the tunnel. So when you're flying, you'll feel turbulence and you'll have to contend with this. And smaller ships will have more turbulence. So they'll be contending with it even more. And then you have the larger ships, which will have maybe less turbulence. But then they also have to deal with the obstacles in the tunnel, just as the small ships, and they have less space to maneuver. So there's quite a lot of factors in there, even between ships.
I said this many times before, I wish CRG would hire someone who has a good understanding how to make fun and engaging gameplay. Of course, it's a game, we don't want everything to be automated and it wouldn't be a game, but CRG wants us to manually fly through the wormhole. This can be fun the first time, maybe even the 5th time, but after you've done this like 20, 30, 50, 100 times, it's getting very old very soon. This is like a loading screen where you have to do something, like when you're starting a game, you are in a city, you have to go to an elevator, you have to ride an elevator, you have to go to a metro, you have to ride the metro, you have to go to an ASOP. All those steps that add nothing to gameplay, that are just boring, while at the same time Star Citizen has no interesting missions in year 12.
Why was a 2D entry point system where we sit here waiting for my turn to jump without shields, please grief me, system chosen for jump point access instead of the 3D sphere several million kilometers wide where people can enter at all directions?
That's your entry. You can't enter from over here or over here. You have to go through the doorway.
Oh, everyone's queuing outside. They're just queuing in front of it, sitting ducks, ready to be shot.
Why do you want everybody to die?
That isn't the case, though. You don't have to stay in nav mode.
Okay.
You can defend yourself from people. That's a misnomer that you have to go cool and then sit in a big line ready to be shot at. That's not the case.
So you have to wait in the queue, you can change back to SCM mode while you wait in the queue, and then you can change back to nav mode when you are actually jumping. Okay, but still, those jump points will be a magnet for pirates and for griefers anyway.
Then we're on to turrets, turrets and AI. There's definitely AI Navy ships there. There's definitely turrets. Yeah, I know, I shot myself in the foot, but that's what it is, right? These things are in our game, and they are going to be the thing. I'm sure we're going to make them more potent or something.
Yes, CRG knows that turrets suck. They cannot even protect you at space stations. Yeah, but why not make turrets better before working on jump points? Why does CRG always put the cart before the horse?
Let's talk about why the ATC is part of this process.
I mean, the ATC is there for the permanent stable jump points. They're there because the powers that be, in this case, you know, the UE security forces that are controlling this to maintain law and order in the system, they've set up shop, and they are like controlling people's jump drives, so they can't attune to the portal within that sector unless they give them permission, and that's the whole purpose of the ATC.
I can totally understand that CRG wants ATC to control who can use the jump points, but how does ATC influence a jump drive of a pirate ship in Pyro? Come on. There would be much better options than this. This is totally gamey, totally artificial. I have a much better suggestion. Those jump points had a ring structure around them. ATC could initiate a jump by initiating a field at those jump gates. No need to magically control the jump drive of a pirate ship in Pyro.
It was mentioned in the ISC that exiting the wormhole will be a sort of shotgun approach to minimize collisions. We all remember in those first tech previews, just to minimize collisions and reduce the impact of gate camping.
It's not that you come out all over the place and then you're like,
I'm not going to be able to see
where are
anybody.
you? Where are you? Yeah, it's not going to be like that. You're going to be there with your friends.
Can you tow ships through a jump point?
No.
Well, I'm not surprised, because since we got the no fun, gamey, arcadey master modes in 3.23, you cannot even tow ships through a quantum jump.
Are there any plans to reintroduce the big jump gate structures?
I mean, the end result is we decided to go away from that like jump gate ring visual, because we didn't think it made sense for like the way we envision jump points working in Star Citizen.
I find it really funny that every dev on every Star Citizen show is using the same excuses. I guess you are briefed very well. Those jump gates would actually make a lot of sense. ATC could control the jump gates, could decide who can jump and who cannot, instead of magically influencing a jump drive on a pirate ship in Pyro. And of course this means all the work artists spent making those jump gates for the faked 2019 CitizenCon demo is all for nothing, all landed in the trash, hundreds and hundreds of man-hours.
Is the unified jump point size system a permanent solution, or will we see small, medium, large jump points make a return in the future?
The reason why the permanent ones are so important is because they are one size fits all, and that's currently the intent. Whether in the future we have stable ones that are different sizes, time will tell.
What can you tell us about how transient jump points will be discovered in the future?
That, I think you're taking
So
more advice on that.
that sort of exploration of transient jump points is something that I'm pretty excited about, because I want to build more like places of interest in the universe in general, and the jump points are a cool one, because like we want to have this kind of Swiss cheese effect of like you can go from like one system to another in various ways. Like we were just talking about like having a variety of different jump points that fit different ships. But how you discover those, like a jump point has a radar signature, and just like every radar signature, that signature is unique, and so different radars can have better sensitivity to different types of signatures, and different radars can give you different information about those signatures, like how strong it is, how far away it is, like how long the tunnel is, how big the tunnel is. Like there's a lot of stuff that we could potentially give about like those transient jump points when we have a lot more of them, and finding them with the right radar and the right ship. Like I expect that our exploration ships, like the Carrack, for instance, which is our flagship exploration ship, I expect that to once we build up these radars that are specifically created for exploration to find things like jump points, they will be attuned to find those at greater distances to give you more information. So that's where we're heading with that.
That is run intentionally uninterrupted. Translation: CRG has no idea yet how transient jump points are supposed to get detected. Well, only plus $700 million, only year 12, only 1,200 employees. This was not a summary, I only talk about things I find important. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
We are now in the Pyro system, and we streamed out Stanton as we were traveling and streamed in Pyro. We are going to have the Pyro system next year. Obviously, that brings in jump points. We're going to have dynamic weather,
including the upcoming planets of the Pyro system. So the upcoming Pyro system and the upcoming Pyro system. Meant for the upcoming Pyro system. The upcoming Pyro system. The upcoming Pyro system. Upcoming Pyro star system. For the upcoming inclusion of the Pyro system. And even the upcoming Pyro system. Pyro is the next star system upcoming to the Star Citizen persistent universe in the upcoming Alpha 4.0.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.